When you had a vision or a promise you made to yourself, do you finish it to the end? Most people don't. Most people go through a stage here and there where they have this vision and they think they are so smart, they are the special snowflake, they're better than everybody else, and once they complete it, they are 100% certain they're gonna fly through and pass everybody else in life. Now, that may be true, but do they complete it? No. The reality is smart people consist of more of the population than you think, and smart people have hundreds of visions to choose from because they have so many other different thoughts and ideas. But the funny thing is when you go back to when you were a child, most smart people in high school, the guys who blew through complicated tests without even studying, the guys who blew through that test that was so easy for them, but for you, it was studying for days after days. You'll think of that person and go, you know what, wow, that guy's actually gonna make it very far. But a couple years after, when he goes out of high school, you realize, well, he didn't really go very far. He's just a pothead now. A lot of smart people, you'll realize that once they get out of school, they just don't do anything and they just become potheads. It's sad to see so much potential go down the drain, but at the same time, it's not, because they don't have something that is essential for success that people have to be born with. Well, and when I say born with, I don't necessarily mean born with. You can create this, but most people don't choose to. Most people who have all these potential capabilities, they have this massive future, they have all these other different things, you'll be surprised how many of those smart, potentially successful people start something, quit halfway. Start another thing, quit halfway. Oh man, I have this business idea, I have this vision, I have this, I have that, I'm gonna do it. He quits halfway. But then you'll see people who were friends with you or grew up next to you, they weren't very smart, some kind of attribute about them that made it so they just couldn't fit in with everybody else. They couldn't fit in, they couldn't link with others, maybe they were very introverted. All of a sudden, people like that just pow. But it's so weird, I thought the guy over there that was a social genius and completed his math tests would become a billionaire. Now, I'm not saying that mentally gifted people, or people who are intelligent or smart or have a high IQ are not going to become successful in life, but that's not what it is that makes people successful. But the difference between that awkward guy that couldn't really fit in school and the Chad that was funny, intelligent, strong, he was in the gym, he was getting all the girls, he had the most awesome car, he played the football, he did this, he did that, is that one of them was motivated for the wrong reasons and the other one just had fight. Chad was intelligent, he had 100 visions a day. Everybody knew him as the cool guy, he went to the parties, he got all the girls. But what happened is he spent his whole life convincing himself that that is what mattered in life. The validation from others, the girls, the parties, all of the different external things. He wasn't going to the gym for himself, he was going to the gym for everybody else. He didn't have a job because he was saving money to invest into something bigger. He had a job for the instant things. He had the hustle for all of the wrong reasons. So once he left high school, he wasn't motivated anymore. He had the friends, he had the girls, he had the cool car, he had the muscles, but he had nothing else. Except for all of those different visions that he was having, but ignoring. And when he didn't ignore one, he would go, okay, I'm gonna become a real estate agent. Okay, I'm gonna become a businessman. Well, to do that, I need to read books on real estate. I have to save money. I have to apply for a license. I have to do this. I have to do this. It's too much. I'll do something else. Oh, you know what? I'll become a YouTuber. That's really simple. All I have to do is post videos. Well, I need to post videos, and then I need to have an app membership. Okay, I'm making the video. I'm talking about life and telling my advice. Chad's starting to do good on videos. He's posting his videos. But after his 10th video, he's burning out. All I get is 10 views a video. This stuff is for losers anyway. Chad is not gonna do this. Chad will find something else. And Chad is exhausted from it. He's exhausted every time. He gets burnt out every time he tries something new. And it's because, well, for one, he has no fight. But that's not the most important reason. For two, he is not willing to give up his social media addiction. He's not willing to give up his friends that smoke weed and go to parties. He's not willing to give up his sex addiction. Not for success. So because of this, he loses fire in things really quickly because his brain is just fried from all these other different things. But the guy who doesn't have those things, the guy who doesn't have those friends, he doesn't see the point in hanging out with friends like that. He doesn't see the point in going to parties. He's just this awkward person that's kind of alone. People know him, but people know him because he's so bloody different. Everyone can see him because he doesn't fit in. Because the reality is he's not focused on validation. He's not focused on trying to find appreciation in people. He's not focused on those things. He's focused on figuring out who he is, what his strengths are, and how can he use them to his benefit. Long story short, he ends up finding one vision. He sees it. He sees the retiring his parents. He sees the getting all the money. He sees the movement he could possibly create with this thing. He takes time. He thinks about it. He goes, do I actually like this? Do I actually want it? Because I don't really have anything else going for me. I'm kind of a loser in a way. I don't really have anything else. So if I were to go into something, I would go in. He figures out that he likes this thing. And when he goes through those complicated times where he doesn't know where to start, he doesn't know where to go, he doesn't know how to sign up for this bloody thing online, he doesn't know how to set all these different things up and start creating things, whatever kind of things he's creating, he fights through it. He spends time on it every day. He doesn't want to hang out with pointless friends. He doesn't want to have pointless sex. He doesn't want to have, you know, all those different things. Or at least he can't find a way to get it because he's too socially incapable, because he's too flippin' different. So that's why he's doing this. He's trying to find his strength in himself. I'm so different than everybody else. I can't do what everyone else can do. What can I do that everyone else can't do? He finds it, he pursues it, he becomes a multimillionaire. And the difference between him and Chad in that moment is when those complicated times come, he has fight. He has the will. He has the push. Your regular Chad in high school, or your alpha male, or whatever you want to call it, those guys who are in the top 10, 20, 30 in high school, they might look tough and cool, but they don't really have the will. And when they have a vision and they start pursuing something, they're like, all right, this is great, this is awesome. All of a sudden, they burn out because of something else. They burn out somehow mentally. Something happens in their life, or blah, 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 whatever happens. But the other guy has the desire to prove something because he doesn't have any of those things. He doesn't have the woman. He doesn't have the validation. He doesn't have the easy way to things. So he doesn't have that self-value coming from that. He needs to find his self-value somewhere else, and it's also that without all this noise around, without all this dopamine, brain rot stuff going on around him, he has had space and time to think of what his strengths are. He had a space and time to figure out who he was, and he had figured out what work resonates with him, and he looked at the other people that are doing what he was doing, and he looked at them and said, I can do that. In fact, I can actually do it better than he can. I see flaws, I see other different things, and I also have a will. I'm not gonna quit on my 10th video like Chad. I'm not gonna quit on my 20th video. I'm not gonna quit on my 200th video. I'm not gonna burn out because I'm not letting anything get in the way. This is what I want, and I'm gonna prove that I want it. I'm gonna do what it takes. I'm gonna have the fight. I'm gonna have the will. The will is when you push, even though that you're sick and tired of doing the same thing over and over. The will is when you see no results, you're tired of what you're doing, you don't want to do it. All your other friends are out there on the beach chasing the women, living the summer life. And you say, is that all you got? The moral of this video is, when there's a will, there's a way. Lots of entrepreneurs, lots of people who are very successful, billionaires, multimillionaires, were bad in school. They had C's, they had maybe not the best IQ tests, but they just had the fight. They just had the will. They pushed through adversity. They saw the vision. They didn't quit halfway. They didn't get bored of what they were doing because of the will. They knew that this is their only way out, and they weren't gonna let boredom, unfulfillment, or burnout take them out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it made you more inspired to become successful. Make sure to take life seriously. See you guys next time. Peace.